This is 1XX and the Spice Girls and Mama at 21 to 10, the 12th of September 2001, a date that will go down in the history, a date that most of us will never forget. I see the financial markets in America are closed following the terrorist attack on the World Trade Center and are unlikely to open again until next Monday. And ASB Securities Managing Director says it will have huge ramifications for the rest of the world. He says the US dollar is weakened, but the euro dollar is up. It's 21 to 10 at 1XX. We'll bring you a full update this morning at 10 o'clock in IRN News. Lucy Walker has managed to get a hold of New Zealander Faith White in Washington, D.C. Lucy.
What are people doing at the moment? What's the mood like?
The mood's pretty somber. It's just the American nation is just in complete mourning. All the flags around the city are at half-mast. People just can't believe what has happened.
Now, where were you when the crash happened?
I was at home, and I didn't actually have the tally on. My husband called me from the World Bank to let me know what had happened, and shortly after that I saw the second plane go through the second tower of the World Trade Center, and sort of about half an hour, three-quarters of an hour after that, realised that the Pentagon was being broadcast and that a plane had blasted through that, and it just, yeah, I pretty much haven't moved from the television for the last 8 hours, and even after 8 hours, I'm still absolutely blown away at the devastation. Obviously, the Pentagon has more relevance to me, but living in DC, but what's happened in New York is just amazing. You know, both of those towers collapsing, and the fact that, I mean, obviously a lot of the victims will be people who work in the building, but also a lot of the volunteers, the firefighters, the police, people who went in to rescue people. There have been reports and video footage of people jumping out of the World Trade Building from, you know, sort of 100-odd stories high, and just awful. People covered in ash and smoke, wandering along, running away from when the World Bank towers actually collapsed. There's video footage of people on the ground running away. It looked very similar to an earthquake when you sort of, you know, people just running for their lives, literally.
Where you are people being told to stay in their homes?
Yes, DC is under a state of emergency. We've been told to stay home, do not use a car unless it's an absolutely emergency. If you have to go and pick up your children or something that's quite vital, but otherwise, please keep the roads empty for emergency vehicles and just a state of calm. DC, I think, because being a government town, has been reasonably orderly while people have sort of been trying to leave and get out. There has been a sense of sort of organisation and calm. I'm not quite sure whether that will have transcended to New York, given the explosion was in sort of a downtown Manhattan in a very busy area, but also not quite as security conscious as we are in DC with the threats to the White House and Congress, etc.
Now, what about phone services and bank services? Are things still running as normal where you are?
Yes, the banks have been running as normal. They've been open. The phone services have been limited. It's been difficult for people from overseas to phone in or out of the DC area. Anyhow, I've sort of, you try sort of several times, and if I've been lucky, I've been managed to get a call out. The internet connection has been sort of very dodgy, and mobile phone services are exactly the same. So the authorities have been asking people not to use the phone unless it's vitally urgent, again, to keep the lines free for emergency services.
And with this awful tragedy, do you feel that the community in America is banding together to deal with this?
They're very upset. America sort of regards themselves as a sort of a defence force that's just unbreakable, basically, and someone, we don't know who, has basically said, "I'm sorry, we can get through," and they're not happy. They're very, very unhappy, and so we'll want to work together and help officials try and determine exactly how this happened and prevent it from ever happening again.
1XX will have another update for you at midday, at 10 o'clock this morning, and reports continue to come in. We'll bring you more updates as information comes to hand. But if you have got loved ones in the US, even in the UK, flights have been postponed. It'll affect 36,000 flights in the US alone. Flights will not resume until midday tomorrow, and that's American time. 9:45 at 1XX, and Steve Allen as we join together.